Now the question is, let A, B and C be rational numbers such that P is not a perfect cube. If A plus B into P raised to 1 by 3 plus C into P raised to 2 by 3 is equal to 0, we have to prove that A is equal to B is equal to C. So let us begin with the given information. As P is not a perfect cube, P raised to 1 by 3 and P raised to 2 by 3 are irrational numbers. P raised to 1 by 3 and P raised to 2 by 3 are irrational numbers. A, B, C are all rational numbers. So if we consider A plus B into P raised to 1 by 3 plus C into P raised to 2 by 3 equal to 0, this part is the rational part and this part is the irrational part. Because they are equal to 0, independently rational part is equal to 0 and irrational part is equal to 0. Therefore, A is equal to 0 and B into P raised to 1 by 3 plus C into P raised to 2 by 3 is equal to 0. As the addition is 0, rational part has to be 0 and irrational part has to be 0. So we get the first value, A is equal to 0. Now let us consider the irrational part. If we take P to the power 1 by 3 common, we get B plus C P to the power 1 by 3 is equal to 0. We have taken P to the power 1 by 3 common from these both terms. Now whenever product of two numbers is 0, one of them has to be 0. So either P to the power 1 by 3 is 0 or B plus C into P to the power 1 by 3 is 0. If P to the power 1 by 3 is equal to 0, then P will be equal to 0, which is not possible because it has been given that P is not a perfect cube. So P cannot be equal to 0. Therefore, we will have B plus C into P to the power 1 by 3 is equal to 0. Again, the whole number is equal to 0. Therefore, rational part will be 0 and irrational part will also be 0. We have already stated that P is not equal to 0. So, P to the power 1 by 3 is not 0. Therefore, B has to be equal to 0 because rational part of the number is 0 and coefficient of irrational part, which is C, also has to be 0. Therefore, B is equal to 0 and C is equal to 0, as both rational and irrational parts are 0. Hence, we get A is equal to B is equal to C, which is equal to 0. So, this is the result. Hence, we can prove that A is equal to B is equal to C.